All right, just starting with the injuries. Josh Andrews won't participate with the thigh. Frank Gore, obviously, I talked about this the other day with the chest, lung. Guidry with the knee won't participate. Jeff Smith will be limited. And P. Ryan's going to go on COVID IR. That's where we're at with that right now. We're still doing some contact tracing stuff to see if, this affects anybody else. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I'm not sure if or how many guys this could affect.
Did he test positive, Adam?
Yes.
So at this point, you're going through the protocol of contact tracing and just to see how far spread it is.
Yeah, I mean that's the procedure. Obviously there hasn't been a lot of people around the last 2 days, player-wise, because of the rules. So, but we have a lot to go through right now.
You almost made, this was, I believe, maybe the first player to test positive, correct? So, I mean, you almost made it through.
Yep. Not great timing, I'd say that.
What does that leave you with, Adam? Ty and Josh as your only running backs, right?
Yep.
Adam, if the contact tracing comes back in some way, shape, or form to impact Ty and Josh, and then with obviously Frank dealing what he's dealing with, who would you have at running back?
Yeah, I don't think those two guys will be affected by this.
Okay.
Like I said, majority of the guys, I mean, the only guys that have been in the building are any guys that have really been injured or doing any kind of rehab and stuff like that.
What, Adam? What's the situation at right guard now with Josh being banged up?
Well, we'll kind of see where we are with GVR. Obviously, we got Cam, Clark. We also have Connor. So we'll kind of, figure out our best situation.
Is Van Roten going to practice?
Yeah, if we were practicing, we'll be doing a walkthrough today, just so Rich doesn't have to ask me about whether or not we're inside or outside.
But he would have practiced if you practiced today.
He would have practiced today.
Why no practice?
Just kind of where we're at right now. I mean, I know that was a physical game last week. Really the last 2 weeks with the travel, I just thought it was the best thing for us to do and just trying to make sure that we got, a lot of the looks that we need. That was just my decision. Thought it was the right move at this point.
Adam, can you speak to what Jamison Crowder has meant to you guys, what you knew of him prior to, him getting here and just all the things that he does?
Well, I mean, I guess I could start with, I remember before we even signed him, Shanahan, Kyle was really high on him, had a lot of great things to say about him. I mean, the tape showed exactly, what we saw. Different type of scheme. Obviously, this offense, I mean, there's so much that goes through the slot. It was a good fit for us at the time. And I would say he's probably been our most, consistent guy over the last 2 years. I mean, especially when he's been healthy. I mean, this year has been a little, he's been there some majority of the time. He's had a few games. He's fought through injury. But man, he's the guy that's always where the quarterback needs him. And when we need a big play, he seems to make it.
Do you feel like Sunday was kind of the blueprint of the things that that he can do for you guys? He had one end around there and obviously the throw and couple key catches.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the first time, we threw to him or had him throw. We had thrown to him before with that same play and we dirted it. But, we've done a lot of those, speed sweeps and things like that with him. We try not to do it too much with them. I mean, some teams it's better than others. Some of those teams it's tough because all of a sudden the ends don't play a certain way, and the last thing you want is one of your better players just gets smoked off the edge because you're kind of gauging it up.
Adam, what do you think when you look at the offensive rankings, again this year, and just I know you may see your face.
I don't, Brian. I mean, can't even look. I mean, there's no point in looking at them. I mean, I know where we're at. It's not good. We had way too many games where we're just so unproductive. I feel like we've done some things better. In the last, month or so, still had that Seattle game where we were just inept, couldn't do anything. So, I mean, it's those games where you just have those just absolutely nothing, no yards, no points, no third down, red zone, percentage is crap. So you have more than like 2 or 3 of those. I mean, it's just going to be bad.
Adam, are you at all? What was your expectation of the Patriots when Brady left? And is this around where you thought? I mean, obviously it's so hard to tell with all the stuff that goes on. But are you surprised they're not in the mix? Given
that's hard. I mean, that's hard for me to say. I mean, the least of my worries was what was going on with other teams. It was more, more our focus was with us. Just trying to figure out, hey, how are we going to put this together with all the things that to just deal with what we had to deal with, and this is every team in the league, you focused on yourself. You weren't really worried about what everybody else had going on and all the changes that other teams were making. You're trying to figure out, all right, the COVID stuff, that was brand new, and trying to figure all that out, off seasons, smaller roster. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that we were worried about before we even got to an opponent.
What do you see in them on tape, with Cam there, as opposed to having to face Brady all these years?
I mean, obviously when they run the ball, they're going to run the ball more than what they had done in the past, but that's just, they're going to do what is best with their personnel they have. I know they've had a lot of moving pieces, guys in there, whether they're injured or, moves that have been made. I mean, it's just, they're going to do what's best with who the guys they have available to them.
Adam, just to get back to the offense, I don't know. I know you have another game left, so I don't know how much kind of reflecting on the season you've done or examining the season. But I mean, are you kind of puzzled as to why it didn't come together this year, or do you think you feel like you have a pretty good understanding of what happened?
I feel like I have a pretty good understanding. I mean, you can go through the games and, just like going down the schedule, you think back of like, okay, this is why this one went the way it did. And, I mean, it's kind of irrelevant at this point when you get to this late in the season. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of things you wish you could change, but you can't. So, I mean, you got to learn from them, as it's going on and try to adjust throughout the season. I think somewhat we did. I mean, other times there's certain games that were kind of that last month and a half where it's just, and you wish you just could have had a better performance. Maybe that would have, swung the tide of the game.
Adam, can you comment on a WFAN report yesterday that said you've already been informed that Sunday will be your last game as coach?
Yeah, that was news to me. So no one has said that to me.
Okay. And what's your feeling about it as we head into the final stretch here?
Oh, Rich, you're going to hate this answer, but it's the best one I can give you as far as, I learned probably when I was 22 years old. Nick Saban told me, you do your job until somebody tells you different. So that's what I'm going to be focused on. And, my job is to get us ready to go for this Sunday and go try to win a game.
Has it been,
I don't know if you,
every week having to answer questions about your job?
I mean, that's what it is. What I've been here 2 years. I think that started about week 6 last year.
Adam, can you talk at all about your relationship with Bill Belichick? Because I know you've been very complimentary of him over the years, and he obviously was very complimentary of you yesterday and today. I was like, did you guys cross paths at all in the coaching ranks? I mean, where does?
No, I think it's just, obviously I grew up under Nick Saban, which is kind of a break off of Coach Belichick, and then also working for Josh McDaniels for 2 years in Denver, kind of being reintroduced to that, that kind of that tree there, because I was away from it for a while, and they kind of re-entering that world. And, I've learned a lot, whether it was under Nick or Josh, that I feel like, tried to apply over the last 5 years. I didn't really know Coach Belichick until, after I left Miami, and then just, developed a good relationship with him since really kind of, left Miami. I mean, I don't know if it's just happenstance of, we finally had a conversation, but there's been a lot of guys that I've been friends with from that staff over the years that, a lot of us grew up, like kind of came up through the ranks together. So, it's, there's a lot of people that we've kind of crossed paths with.
Adam, I know you every week, you talk about just keeping your head down and looking at the next game. Obviously, this is the last game. Is there any part of you that's been, and any time with the way things have gone, kind of getting back to what Brian was asking a little bit, that's reflected about, what's gone on the last 2 years, particularly this year? I mean, you had the great finish last year, and it turned into 0-13 this year, when you would have thought it would have been the opposite. I just kind of wonder if you've had any reflection moments, in quiet times or whatever, when you're just hanging.
Yeah, I mean, it's most of anything that I really kind of think about. It's been trying to figure out how to kind of change the tide this season. That's the thing about the NFL. You'd love to say, hey, it always works out to where if you kind of finish the year well the year before, it carries over to the next year. But at the end of the day, that's why when you talk to your team in training camp, you're like you're 0-0, and nobody really cares what you did the year before. So it's a complete start over. We got different players. We had a lot of changeover in the roster. That's the majority of the NFL. I mean, you go to the playoffs the next year, nobody cares. You win the Super Bowl the next year, they might care for about 2 weeks, and then you go 0-2, then nobody cares that you won the Super Bowl the year before.
We'll take a couple more for Coach.
Adam, you just did. I'm going to belabor the point on the offense, but you made your bones in this league on the offensive side of the ball. Do you worry at all that your reputation, has taken a hit here with the way the offense has performed the last 2 years?
I don't know if worry's really the right word. I think it's just, it pisses me off, because if there's one side of the ball that I want to make sure is right, that one has not happened. And that's on me.
Is that it for Coach?
Does it mean anything? Just following up, I know you talked about the Belichick relationship. He was pretty effusive in praising you yesterday in a conference call. Does it mean anything, when you hear it from a guy of that stature, praising the job you've done this year under these conditions?
Yeah, I mean, anytime, the guy that I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys have said is, if not the best head coach ever, one of the best head coaches ever, for him to say anything positive is, at least, there's something to that of, puts things in perspective sometimes. It's still right now, it's, we didn't do enough to win more games, and, we didn't get better fast enough. Last 2 weeks the guys have done a really good job. I mean, it's really a credit to our players of sticking with the coaching staff and fighting through a lot of different things, and, finding ways to win games and believing in us. And as far as, what we were telling them week in and week out, it could have been easy for them to, fold up shop and put out bad tape and, just not care. But these guys do. And like I said before, my appreciation to them is it's hard to put in words.
Adam, just one quick one. Is Sean back? Sean Jefferson, he missed the game? No. Okay. You expect to have him back this week?
I think there's possibility.
Is that it for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.